Oh boy, there's an oldie but goodie. Welcome in, invaders.
I love the Spaceducks, man. I love that one. And if we were monetized, it would be a problem. But since we are not, and we even tried to find the dude. You reached out to him, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought we had all the little doodads that you need to copy and paste and all that stuff because it was free. I mean, it's free technically, but I guess
I love the Spaceducks, man. It's like I love that tune. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Hey, look at there, Kentucky Fried Gamers. Howdy. Howdy.
And look who
it is. A stranger. Stranger has joined the chat. The rarely seen but often quoted Clem Cadiddlehopper.
Yes.
Got my coffee, waiting for Alder to toast him because it's morning and he's actually supposed to be. Doug, sir, welcome. Welcome. It is going well.
I'm glad to be back. Glad to have you back.
Having coffee and waiting for the Australian connection to raise his toast with us as well. There he is. There he is, having his actual morning coffee as we have coffee way too late.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Too late. What's happening, Alder? So Eric and I were just chatting actually for a topic that'll probably actually come up soon is burnout. Because I am burned out of trying to play games because I just can't get them to the table. That is not the topic for tonight, by the way.
No, we have a little bit more positive fun with
a little bit more positive, but I think we all go through that too. But I remember too, a long time ago when I got out of gaming for a while, I hadn't gamed in, let's see, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years. I had a space in there after I got back from being stationed in California when I came back to South Carolina, where I didn't game for a long time till I accidentally, I'd say it was a funny story how I got back into gaming. I had a buddy of mine, his wife was at church and she was showing me these cookies she had made, right? These sugar cookies. They were like really fancy sugar cookies. And she's scrolling through her pictures on her phone trying to find them. And her husband had a picture of a painted Space Marine on her phone. And she's scrolling through and I'm like, wait, go back. What was that? I was like, was that a Space Marine on your phone? She goes, you know what that is? It's like, yeah. She goes, my husband plays, but he has no one to play with. I was like, shut up. Are you serious? So that was how I got back in.
You got hooked back in. They pulled you back in.
Yeah, it was just funny because she was scrolling through her pictures to show me a sugar cookie. And I'm like, that was a Space Marine. So that was how I got back into playing. Kind of a funny story.
Yeah, I think originally how I got back in, even during those periods when you weren't playing the game, was the painting, the hobby aspect. Even though I think a little bit of people move away, you move or just life in general.
Yep.
I always still had it kind of in my life, whether I wasn't rolling the dice anymore, but I was still actively modeling and putting stuff together and putting it on a shelf. And then I could sit and stare at and ooh and ah at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think one of the things that helps with that, and we're taking all the topic for when we talk about this, is when you have the nice display cabinets to put your stuff in, because then you can have it there and it's not like tucked away in a drawer where you feel like, well, what's the point in really even having it? It's in a box under the stairs or what have you. When you're doing like Alder said here, where you're taking a break.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
one of these days I keep saying it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna steal my son's cabinets in that other room.
You need to just get on that. You've been saying
pull them out. I'm gonna put them behind me here.
Yeah. You need to just get on that because I'm tired of the excuses on that one. So,
oh boy.
What have you been working on? Anything?
Well, I am still hammering away at my hobby goals list. I got so many minis ready for our New Year's Eve hobby stream that I'm banging on those quite a bit. I mean, I showed this guy off last week.
Yeah.
He's got some more color on him. This is all. I've been really going to town on the speed paint. Okay, ready for he doesn't look like the Bumble anymore, Clem, but
Oh,
Yeah.
he's looking. Oh, I like him. Is he done or?
No, he's not done yet. I want to dark.
He could go on the table just like that. I mean, he looks good. He could go on the table just like that for sure.
I'm starting to get into that detail stage where, you know me, I like doing all the details with the tiniest brush you can find. I got a bunch of my Twilight guys done. Look at these guys.
Nice.
So, I mean, I got to, of course, do some kind of basing. And
oh, no, you don't. You can just put them on clear bases. Alder loves that. That's Alder's favorite thing is if you put them on a clear base.
Some little eggs. And yeah, I mean, I've been really making some progress on that pile I had. And I think tomorrow coming soon. I hope tomorrow. I have not one, but 2 orders coming. Yafsiga should be showing up.
Oh, that's right.
And Violent Dark. So I may be doing some unboxings either this weekend or soon.
Nice.
So
very cool.
I'm excited about that. Some new for the shelf of, can't say shelf of shame. It is pile of possibilities.
Pile of opportunity. Now, Alder, come on now. Clear bases are awesome, buddy. I've just been printing. I did get a little bit of stuff painted. I got like 4 ships painted. That looks like
wow.
Yeah, that one is special. Let me just delete that comment. Boom. What the heck that was. But I've been printing. I did get 4 of my Battlefleet Gothic ships painted, but my printer I was really surprised at how well, I mean, obviously they're not like a resin printer would be, but the quality I got off my Ender 3s in FDM was really good for the Battlefleet Gothic ships. So for our little group, I got a Chaos Fleet for one of my buddies, Chaos Fleet for me, a Necron fleet, and an AdMech fleet, all printed up. Movement templates, bases, everything.
You did dice too, didn't you?
I did order dice. I have my order dice from the box set, so I don't need any. So I printed them up for the other guys. So,
well, that's
everybody's
cool.
Busting on my clear bases now. Yeah. Come on.
Well, hopefully soon. If you guys haven't been in the Discord in the little Hobby Space channel, I did start this week a post about 3D printers, because that was one thing on my goals list, and that may be happening soon. I can't believe I didn't think of it till this week, but it's like, oh, birthday's coming up. Wife keeps asking me, what do you want? What do you want? And she wants it to be something big. Well, I may be going down that rabbit hole sooner than I thought.
That's a good rabbit hole to go down, though.
Yeah.
I also started printing Man of War, another dead GW game, was with fantasy battles, fleet action stuff. So I printed an Empire fleet, an Orc fleet. What else did I print? I printed a Chaos Dwarf fleet and a Dwarf fleet. So
Alder says he saw there was a rumor GW bringing back BFG.
I saw that too, and I would initially say, they're going to mess it up. But although I'm not as big a fan of the new Necromunda rules as the old ones,
don't worry, Clem.
They did a pretty good job. It's huge, but they did a pretty good job on the new Necromunda, I thought.
Yeah.
So I mean, it might come out good, but there's a pretty solid
open for it.
Yeah, there's pretty solid community anyway. So I figured I just have to cave into my very tiny gaming group is, which is basically 40K stuff. But doggone it, I'm gonna print it.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be an old specialist game that doesn't exist anymore.
You can't beat when it's 90% cheaper than.
Oh man, are you kidding me? I printed those 4 fleets and all the pieces and everything for less than. I got my spool of FDM on clearance for $13.99. So that was what I paid for all the fleets, and I'm not even out of the spool yet. So
yeah, you can't argue that.
No, you can't beat that price. I got my stack of books over here. That's why, because I know what we're talking about, and I didn't want to forget any of these.
You got a stack. Okay, so let's jump into tonight's chit chat since we're rambling about. This week we're going to jump into another game theme focus, And we're going to look at games that are out of this world or in another time setting. And I'm talking about sci-fi games. Now, we've covered fantasy was our last one, and we touched in on horror games, scary games a little bit. But, we're going to do like what we did before, look at kind of the choices that are out there, depending on kind of what you're looking for, what there is, could be the size of the game or just maybe entry. But I thought to start off with sci-fi, what kind of draws us in, and then maybe even look at some of those early sci-fi influences.
What? Sci-fi. I can't even. Sly Fly.
That's
Sly Fly. We're going to start a new genre of games tonight. We're just going to make stuff up.
What do you think is it that draws people to it? I think it's the tech, right?
Yeah, I think
spaceships, lasers, alien monsters,
lasers, everything from it runs such a broad gamut from the retro ray gun style of the 1950s pulpy sci-fi to all the way to 40K and the grim dark, totally horrid place to live and exist if you were there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then everything in between there. You got your cyberpunk that kind of fits in there too, because it's in the broad category of sci-fi. I think it's in there, and then you got your Star Wars-esque games. Oh, there you go. There, the two things that Clem said:
armored spacemen,
cool,
yeah,
and cool helmets sell models.
Oop,
we're just double clicking it. Go ahead.
We're clicking. Yeah.
That's a really good. Actually, I mean, that seems like a silly one-off.
Laser swords.
Well, but you know what? The funny thing about that is that's very true, because if you go look at a lot of the resin sculptors, the smaller guys like in Poland and Russia, not the recasters, but the guys that do like the specialty Space Marine heads, there's just this huge cross section of different kinds of cool space helmets. And I mean, that's essentially what it is. If you go look at Puppets War, that's like the vast majority of their stuff is cool space helmets.
Well, just look at Marvin the Martian, right? He's got a cool helmet.
WB guy ever.
So, okay, let's look at classics then. Where did it all start for us? I mean, right out of the bat, we've already mentioned a couple times, 40K, right? Is where a lot of us started with sci-fi, because it's been around forever.
I started Starfleet Battles was mine.
Okay.
That was I played that well before I played 40K.
Now, one of the ones that started for me, and it's not exactly the space opera, but Gamma World is, I would think, where it started for me. I mean, that's fantastic worlds. You got your mutants and monsters and stuff. And yeah, it's not in space, but it's still in the future. I kind of look at sci-fi as anything kind of in the future,
Right. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, Clem, no one can disprove that statement. I'm sorry. Vikis are the best Space Marine helmets. I agree. He's got another one too. That was the one I was going to say. I was making up right there after you said that. As soon as you said Gamma World, I had the image of the Star Frontiers box set in my mind. As soon as you said it, yep, I remember Star Frontiers. And on the role playing side, Rifts, Robotech, some of those things. But for me, my intro into into sci-fi gaming was Starfleet Battles. That was the first sci-fi game that I played. Well, maybe not. No, actually, I take that back. I retract that. It was BattleTech. So apparently everything I wanted to do at first was really hard. I didn't go for anything easy.
You wanted to crunch numbers.
Let's take the two crunchiest games that have ever existed and let's throw those. Those will be the first two that I play. It's amazing that I still play anything, right?
So what are some good current ones to start with? A lot of people are getting new into gaming, and, they're looking at all the stuff that's out there, especially right now. There's tons. And once again, look at smaller scale games that are, could go big, but are good to jump into. You just mentioned one that first thing that came to my mind is BattleTech. They have a beginner box now because their Catalyst is making it right now. And they have a beginner box that's like $24 on Amazon. Now it only gives you partial rules, but it gives you that taste, you know.
Right.
And then if you like it, you can easily expand it up to, what do they call it? A game of armored combat. And even that, it's only $46. You get more minis and you get the full room, rules.
Right.
And there's plenty of expansions they have for that. So I think that's a great jumping on point. So it kind of, way back when it encouraged you to play sci-fi games, and you know what, it's still around.
Well, and I think one of the nice things about BattleTech is if you're not playing Alpha Strike. Now, bear in mind, I haven't played Alpha Strike, but in the old BattleTech with the hexes, you didn't need terrain if you didn't have the space for it. You could just play on the map because it had all the elevations and the depths and the trees and everything. So you could do that, and it was really space saving. And that's what I remember when I first started playing it, because I was in high school or junior high school when I first played it. And you don't have a big giant basement full of gaming stuff when you're in junior high school and high school. You know what I mean? You haven't had the time to establish your hobby that well yet.
It's gotta fit all in that starter box, right?
Exactly. You got to put it all back in the box, put a rubber band around it, put it in the basket on your bicycle or your backpack, and go over to your buddy's house and play.
Yeah, definitely. Another one I thought would be one of our favorites, Retro Ray Gun, because it's pretty small, entry point. You just need a couple guys to make your little war band. Terrain could be anything from your foam rocks to your aquarium plants, and
because that's what they were using in the movies that they were making of the retro.
So it fits theme wise, and it's small scale, easy stats. So anybody jumping in, you're paying for a book, and that's it. And
funny that Star Breach should be mentioned in the comments. I have that one right here.
Yeah, and that's on our list somewhere here. But
Retro
Ray Gun.
But do you have the autograph?
No.
Rubbing it in. You don't have the autographed one? I have the autographed one.
But yeah, we like the Retro Ray Gun because that atomic punk, pulpy, was it 1930s sci-fi kind of feel to it.
And just
it's kind of funny.
The models are super characterful. I will say that. So this stack that I have right here, you've got some of these in the list, but I'm just going to go down them because there was an interesting observation I read today. So I've got Star Breach, Zone Raiders, Gangs of the Undercity, Conflict 47, Horizon Wars, all three books, Reality's Edge. Well, most of those are mini agnostic.
Yeah.
And, minis agnostic is really good, but I don't know that it's so good for a beginner game. This was the comment that I read, because with a beginner game like that BattleTech box set, or really even one of the $9,000 GW starter boxes, that has the 7 minis and the 4 pieces of terrain in it for your first price of your first child. But everything's in there already. You're not trying to, start from scratch and have nothing. I think the minis agnostic games are really more targeted towards the experienced gamer or the longtime gamer that's already got a collection of models, because they're just not good intro games. We had talked a lot about this with Urban Manhunt, how we thought that was one of the things that kept it from getting bigger, was it had such really cool characters that you really wanted the model.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't want to go find something to be that particular model. You wanted that dude.
Kind of a double-edged sword. It's great because you can use whatever, but at the same sense, it's like, but I want that.
Yeah, I'm with Alder on this one. Infinity, great minis, cool fluff, rules like Starfleet battles with 28 millimeter. It's just way overly complex. Counterblast, I've got some of the minis, but I've never played it. I've almost
got the
trigger on
PDF
the
of that.
I think I have the PDF for the rules too. But you know me, I am not reading a PDF. I might reference it during a game, but I'm not reading it. I just can't do it.
Well, my next category that I had in our notes here was dice chuckers. So we mentioned some of the GW stuff. Kill Team, Space Hulk, and even like the Fallout board game / you could say the minis game, because they have a minis game out there too.
Yeah, which is actually really good if you haven't tried it. Kind of heavy on tokens.
Yeah.
But and little tiny microscopic ones too, man. But fun game.
Yeah. So all these, they're fun, kind of you play your Saturday night with the family type of games.
Yeah.
Everything's usually in the one box. Like you said, you get your minis, you get your train, tokens, rule, all that stuff together. And then what do you got there? What's next?
I got Zone Raiders, and I'm saying this because Alder mentioned, I cannot speak tonight. Alder mentioned Infinity about the rules, not liking them. This plays similar to Infinity, or so I've heard. I've only played Infinity once, but it is not complex like that. This is a game that deserves a whole lot more love, because this is a super, super cool game, and the book's fantastic too. It's really well done.
Is that one of the agnostic games?
Yes, Zone Raiders is mini agnostic. The Infinity models port over into it really well, and really so do the 40K models, like especially the Necron. They port into it really well.
Let's see. So I got a couple more. I'll just run through them real quick.
Run,
starters.
Run, boy, run.
So we got Violent Dark by Blacksite Studios. How long can you last?
Love me Violent Dark.
And then we got, Stargrave, Starbreach, Core Space, Counterblast. And some of these have been mentioned by you guys in the audience there. And I think all these ones they're all straightforward, light on mechanics, and easy to build your, try different war bands to play the game. And Horizon War is another good one.
Jenkins, good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah. So I think these are all just ones that you can kind of jump in and get going with little effort. Some of them you can expand out, which I think is great about a lot of these starter ones. But I will say of that list, Core Space is really, really good because it's super easy to play by yourself. It's super easy to play. It is. It's pretty quick. It's on a 2x2 board. You can expand it bigger than that. They kind of push that because they've got the little inserted the cardboard stuff that goes together, and it looks pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it looks pretty good. But it's a really solid game. I recommend checking that one out because, like you said, with BattleTech, you can get into that with a box set. Yeah.
And then you can expand it how you want with the different crews. So it's pretty fun. I don't know what else new has come up.
There you go, Clem.
Sci-Fi bugs. There you go. Look at that. See, Clem, we got your back. Don't forget Zinvaded, right?
Yeah.
Sci-Fi bugs from outer space coming to Earth to try and take over until they realize that they're only bug size.
All right. So we got through that part. And I thought we could wrap up the show looking at the clock here already. We could look at what are some of the different kinds, what makes them stand out a little bit. And, maybe if there's any out there that we're looking forward to playing, either coming out or we just haven't tried yet. Something different. What is something different about some of these? So one that comes up is 5 Parsecs from Home.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that one was a great standout sci-fi game because it has campaign play, character creation, the progression of your characters. I think that was one of those first games that I've seen that treats not just the tabletop aspect of the game, but after the game. You're doing that bookkeeping and spending money and leveling guys up. I thought that was a really cool concept.
I always hate to call it bookkeeping because you don't feel like that's what you're doing. I mean, it is what you're doing. Exactly. It is what you're doing, but it's like you don't feel like you're doing that because you're rolling to see what kind of weapons you get, and did you get betrayed by the dude that paid you to do the job or what have you? I'll tell you one of the things I like, and I didn't think that I would like this, was when I first played Starbreach, is the order dice. I had never played Bolt Action. I've still never played Bolt Action, But I didn't know what I thought about the order dice. But I actually I really liked them. I thought the game played well. What I liked about Star Breach was the intentionality in the generic sci-fi factions that you have. And what I
Yeah,
love about
there's
that
a
is
lot in there that you could do. That's
right.
right.
And but even though they're generic, they're very specific,
They're
right? So
nods.
they oh yeah,
Definitely
they're
nods.
nods to all of the really cool sci-fi stuff that you want to play. If you want to
Yeah.
see how stormtroopers fare against chaos warriors, you're going to find out. You know, you can do that. You want to see how Jedi or Sith fare against I don't know, colonial marines. It's all with it, you know, it's all kind of bundled up in that. And I that was just super appealing about the game to me. And I really like dice, and they had some really cool colors on the order dice. So I may have ended up with more of the dice than I actually need. Maybe.
So here's a good one. And I know
Oh yeah.
Alder doesn't like this system because it's 7TV by Crooked Dice Games. They have this system set up that they can plug in whatever theme to it.
Right.
And they have sci-fi stuff plugged into this, like Battlestar Galactica. If you want to play classic Battlestar Galactica, you can. That's a system I've never owned, but I have that Dracula one
Right.
coming, so I can see how the system works. And I've watched some videos of it, but I think it's going to take actually trying it to really see, what the strengths are and how different and cool it is.
Sure.
So that's a good one.
Sure.
So, and we mentioned this one. I got one that we mentioned in fantasy, but I think this fits in sci-fi too. Twilight. I think Twilight kind of fits in sci-fi, right?
I don't know.
Or is it a little more fantasy?
I think it's a little more fantasy, but we've
Yeah.
mentioned many times that
I just love the system. It's so different.
That's the thing, that one of the biggest things about it is it's not just different in gameplay. It's different in everything. I mean, actually, absolutely every aspect of the game is just very, very unique. And that's so appealing to guys like us in a game.
It's refreshing.
It's
something different. It's not like a rehash or reinvent the wheel. It's just it's something new.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I would call it sci-fi though. I mean, because you qualified sci-fi as in the future.
Yeah.
So does that mean Star Wars isn't, because it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? So now I'm really confused, because now do we have to take Star Wars out of the mix?
Oh,
no Armada,
man.
no X-Men, no Legion. We can take all that out.
Man.
See, listen, sci-fi is whatever you want. If they have one shoulder plate on, they can be sci-fi.
There you go. Yeah. Now, is there any that are coming out that you'd want to try? Can you think of any?
I can't think of any sci-fi
or that you haven't tried yet.
Out. To be honest, I have not tried Reality's Edge yet, and I really wanted to, because I have some very fond memories of playing Cyberpunk back when I was stationed in California. I get some really fond memories of playing that, and I wanted to get that vibe on the table with miniatures, and I just haven't had a chance. And I've got the book right here. It's by Joe McGuire, the guy that does This Is Not a Test. So it's the same dude, and it's a book.
That's a big book.
And it's just super cool, because it has the same kind of development and the campaign system. That it's essentially This Is Not a Test, except it's cyberpunk.
That would be kind of cool.
And it's got a whole hacking section that you can use too. So that's the one I haven't had an opportunity to get to the table, that I think I would really like to at least try.
Okay. Well, I got a big old list of ones that I'm excited coming, or that I want to try, whether I have them or not.
Thunder Road.
I don't have that one on the list, because I kept
that one on the list.
I left that in the board game section.
Okay. I'm sorry. But it's got minis.
Yeah, it does have minis.
Hold on. Okay, Kentucky.
Well, we got a good one.
Vortex. I have it on your recommendation. I have it. I didn't bring it over to my pile because
man,
I don't know why I didn't bring it over to my pile. Maybe I should go get it. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be hitting the Black Site Studios again here and talking about Lunar. This is a game that I have not tried, but it's slowly creeping into that interest part of my brain that I'd like to try it. It sounds like it's got some cool mechanics with the gravity of the moon. You know, you shoot a dude and he kind of slowly floats off, or if you're moving around, the gravity type of thing has an effect on that. Another one that this one is kind of in the Star Wars universe, but I've never tried Star Wars Legion. I'd like to try that. Armada, I have it, but I've never tried it because
it's pretty fun. I've played it with Raul, and I actually liked it. And it
looks fun.
It's a pretty short game. It's only a few turns, but it's I liked it.
And then I want to try the new one coming out by Atomic Mass, the Shatterpoint, that's based on the Marvel Crisis Protocol rule set. So that's going to be this summer. So I got some there that I haven't tried yet, don't have, coming soon, that type of stuff. And of course I had to throw in a board game here, The Thing. I want to try that new The Thing board game.
I got you. Well, I mean, I've got a couple of sci-fi board games that I like. I've got Alone, Endure the Stars. I enjoy Endure the Stars. I like the insanity portion of that game. Okay. And then Zombicide Invader. So those are some that I like is on the board game side of things for my sci-fi.
Okay. And then we were kind of talking board games sometimes might be a little bit easier to get out to the table with your family. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's still gaming, right? Still tabletop gaming.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that I play Epic Monster Tea Party and Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters way more than I play anything else.
I played a game called Verdant last weekend with my wife that's basically about making houseplants happy in your house. And now she wants to go buy houseplants.
Did you tell her that rolling dice is not going to help the real ones survive? It's not gonna, There's no special card you can throw on one of them and everything's going to be okay again.
Yeah, and I don't think parking the dogs by the plant's going to make it happier like in this game. But
I bet she tries.
Try, yeah. They're not going to eat it like a cat will.
Well, maybe. Maybe dogs can be special too. Anyway, I think that's about all the time we have, ladies and gentlemen.
As Clem says, fastest 30 minutes in gaming.
Fastest 30 minutes in gaming. Truer words have never been spoken. I cannot speak. What Alder say? Alder said he'd probably like to try Violent Dark as well. I like Violent Dark. I really do. I think it's a cool game. I haven't tried it with the Rogue synths yet. I got that set. I haven't tried it with that.
Man, we got stuff popping up like crazy here.
Yeah, we do. Remember to tend to your poop piles of ongoing potential. Okay. I love it. We need to star that one, man. We need to hang on to that one. Oh, yeah. 1-page rules is good, too. All right. This is going to go off on the rails right here. I promise.
Yeah.
Tend to your poop piles of ongoing potential. I like that. We need a shirt. Whose turn is it to take us out?
You.
Oh, is it mine?
It is your turn.
I think you're lying. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's always a good time. It was a pleasure to have Clem back with us tonight, and all of you regulars and anybody who was able to tune in that doesn't regularly. Thanks for tuning in with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click all those, smash all those buttons out there. You can check out more content on our Podbean account and all of the podcast stations out there. You can also check us out, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of the social media outlets. Go like us and follow over there. Lots of cool stuff going on in our Discord channel. There's a big discussion on what kind of printer Eric should get for his birthday. So if you have any input in that, feel free to hop over there and tell Eric what he should do.
Make my head explode some more.
That's right. Give him some stuff to read. But check us out on the Discord channel. There's lots of pictures, cool stuff going on over there. Also, we have a Patreon. If you'd like to support us over there, you can pop over there and throw us a couple of pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever you'd like. Most importantly, though, we love our Redbubble. I'm pretty sure that we have bought more stuff from Redbubble than anyone else has, but that's okay. I don't mind. So you can check it out. You can get your Indie Invasion merch over there and find out all of the cool stuff that's going on. And join us every Thursday night. We're kind of mixing some stuff up for the new year. We'll see what other kind of stuff is coming. But until next week, invaders, prepare yourself for the invasion.